All right, good morning. This is for Tuesday for pre-algebra, and we are looking at lesson 96. We are going to talk today about adding like terms. Now, when you were a little kid, you probably had a kindergarten teacher or a first grade teacher that told you at some point to clean up all the toys. And if they're anything like I was when I taught lower elementary, I was very, OCD about putting certain things away. Really chilled out in the last few years. But I had baskets, and this basket was for all the Army Men toys, and this basket was for the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and this basket was for all of the pretend food, and this one was for all the pretend dress up, okay? Each basket was for a particular type of toy. What I was doing when I had this big mess of toys, and I told my students, put all the Army Men here, and all of the pretend food here. I was having them sort, right? You remember sorting when you were a kid? Maybe your mom made you sort socks, okay? And mate all the different kinds of socks together, okay? Now, it's the same idea what we're gonna do today. When you put toys away, you don't just throw them in a box if you wanna be nice and neat. You put all of one kind in each little section, okay? Now, we're gonna kind of do that in math. We're gonna look at these terms and we're gonna say which ones are alike. The ones that are alike go together. What makes them alike? Well, if they have a number and they're just a number, those would be one kind. If they have a letter, we're going to look only at the letter. The number in front of a letter, this is called a coefficient. We don't care what the coefficient is. All we care about is the letter after it, all right? They need to be the same. In order to put them in the basket together or in order to combine them, they need to be the same. So let's look at our first problem. We have negative 3x. All I care about is the fact that it's a what? It's an x, okay? So I'm looking across here and I'm saying, do I have any more that are x's? Well, this is an x. Do I have any more x's? Yes, I have this one. It is also an x. Okay, now the sign in front of it goes with that number. So I have negative 3x plus a positive 2x. Okay, so I'm going to say negative 3 plus positive 2 is a negative 1. Now when 1 is a coefficient, you don't actually have to write it. You can write negative 1x, or you could just write negative x. And we're going to write just the negative x, okay? Now, I've used this one, so I'm going to mark a line through it. Now I'm going to say, are there any other letters? Well, there is. There's the letter y, okay? Here's the y. There are no more y's. So I'm simply going to bring that one down and put plus 2y. I've used that one, so I'm going to draw a line through it. All I have left now are my constants, or in other words, the numbers. The numbers that don't have any variable, they don't have any letter with them. So I'm going to say 3 plus 7 is 10. My answer to this problem, what is negative 3x plus 2y plus 2x plus 3 plus 7? What's its answer? Negative x plus 2y plus 10. Now these are add-ins, right? So just like I can say 1 plus 2 plus 3, I can also say 2 plus 1 plus 3, or 3 plus 1 plus 2, and I'm going to get the same answer. That is true of these as well. The only thing you have to remember is that the sign goes with that coefficient, okay? Typically, when you're writing your answers, you want to start with the letter that comes first in the alphabet, write all of those. Okay, and then the last one will be the one that just has the constant or the number. Leslie, you don't have to make the squares and the circles. I'm only doing that to help you see what I'm doing. Look at this. Okay, we have m's, we have x's, and we have constants. Well, m comes before x in the alphabet, so let's look for all the m's. We have a 2m, and we have a negative 4m. That's all I have. So what is 2 plus a negative 4? What do I get? I get negative 2m. And I've used those. So what do I use next? I'm going to use my x's. Well, I have 3x. It doesn't have a sign. So what does that mean? It means it's positive. 3x, a negative 14x, and a positive 2x. Okay? So let's go 3 plus a negative 14 is going to be negative 11. Negative 11 plus 2 makes negative 7. So I have a negative 7x. I've used that one, I've used that one, and I've used that one. Now all I have left are my constants. 4, positive 4, plus a negative 2 is a positive 2. So my answer is negative 2m minus 7x plus 2. Look at this next one. We have x's, y's, and constants. So let's do the x's first. We have negative 4x. We have positive 7x. We have a negative x. That's what we have, 3 of them. So negative 4 plus 7 is 3. And 3 plus a negative 1 is 2. So we have 2x. And again, marking those out because I've used them. Now we have a negative y and a positive 4y. So what do I have when I add a negative? So what is this? If it's just negative y, it's a negative 1. Negative 1 plus 4. I have positive 3. So I have positive 3y, and these mark out. Now I have 4 and a negative 8. So what is my answer? Negative 4. My answer is 2x plus 3y minus 4. This is called adding like terms. What I'd like for you to do is in your book, if you will look at the practice, there are 2 more on your practice problems, B and C. I'd like for you to do those and practice them just before you start the homework. Remember, all of your quizzes here are on paper, so make sure that you're finishing those to turn them in. Those will be your final grades. You'll have, all you have left now, guys, is your final. Okay, you do this homework, your quizzes, and your final, and you're done. All right? All right, have a good day.